Now, I want to come back to something that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I told you I was going to introduce you to a resource, something that I created that's been over 10 years in the making. And this is, you can see it in the background, the Genealogist Guide to Massachusetts, Volume 1. And this didn't come together overnight. This is the result of a decade spent literally in town halls and archives, probate courts and databases, watching researchers hit the same walls, make the same mistakes, and ask the same questions as I did. So I built the resource that I wish I had when I started. Now, I want to be clear about what this is and what it is not. This is not just another list of records or repositories, because if you've researched Massachusetts at all, you already know that approach only gets you so far. This book exists to solve a deeper problem because Massachusetts genealogy is different. The records here are older. They're more complex and shaped by centuries of layered history. And if you don't understand that history, you don't fully understand the records at all. And what this guy does after 10 years of researching and writing it is to bridge that gap. It brings together historical context and practical method, because genealogy isn't just about finding names. It's about interpreting evidence. It's about understanding why a record exists, who created it, and what it actually tells you. That's the shift this book is designed to give you. We start before the records even begin, and that's with the indigenous homelands that shaped this region for thousands of years. Because Massachusetts didn't begin in 1620. And if you don't understand what came before colonization, you will misunderstand everything that comes after it. And from there, we move into Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay, not just as history, but as systems that created records. Why they documented differently, why those records are stored differently today, and why your ancestor might appear in one, but then not the other. As the book unfolds, everything connects. Religion shaping church records, town governance shaping vital records, courts, land, and probate systems evolving over time. And this is where that 10 years of work really comes together. Massachusetts research depends on understanding the relationship between place, time, and the record type. If you miss that, you miss your ancestors. And then we take that framework and apply it to real places. In Volume 1, we lay the foundation and begin breaking down Massachusetts county by county, giving you the structure you need to navigate the records correctly. But folks, that's just the beginning. Volume 2 is also available, and it builds directly on that foundation. In this volume, we expand across the Commonwealth from Dukes County and the island communities of Martha's Vineyard through Essex, Franklin, Hampton, Hampshire, and even into Middlesex counties. What makes this volume, different, is the level of depth. You're not just learning where records are. You're learning how entire regions function genealogically. That's extremely important. How maritime communities, industrial cities, inland farming towns, and academic centers each created completely different types of records. And more importantly, how to adjust your research strategy depending on where your ancestors lived in Massachusetts. Because a whaling family on the vineyard leaves a very different trail than, say, a mill worker in Lowell, or say a farming family in Western Massachusetts. And volume 2 shows you how to navigate those differences with precision. And the project isn't finished yet. The volume 3 is on the way and will be available this summer. That final volume will take everything even further, bringing together statewide systems, advanced research strategies, and the deeper institutional records that tie everything together across this state of Massachusetts. But at its core, this entire series, this 10-year project, is about changing how you think. Because the real difference in genealogy isn't access to records, it's knowing how to question them. What should exist? Why might it be missing? What does this entry really mean? And when is your evidence actually solid? That's the real difference between guessing and doing real genealogical work. Whether you're just starting out or if you've been stuck for years, this guide gives you a structured, historically grounded way forward. Because every record you find is part of a larger story of community, conflict, migration, and survival. And when you learn to see that story clearly, everything changes. That's what 10 years of work went into building. And that's why I wrote these reference guides. Volumes 1 and 2 are now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, as well as local retailers and libraries. And if perchance you can't find them in your store or library, ask for them. I will also provide links for them in the description and the comments. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest brick wall you've hit in your own family research? What challenges are you having with the different record types? Drop a comment below and tell me about your ancestor that you can't seem to find, or the document you can't seem to understand. And there's a good chance your puzzle is one that hundreds of other people are trying to solve too. And if you want to learn more about becoming a historical detective, make sure you are subscribed. Like and subscribe to this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my Substack, where I provide access to exclusive content. Thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Eric with Trace Your New England Roots, where history starts with your family.